Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the regular meeting of the Mayor and Board of Trustees for the Village of Burr Ridge. Today is February 26th. Our first order of business, of course, is the Pledge of Allegiance. And tonight, we're going to be led by a Gower West student, fourth grader. Her name is Peyton Boatwright. She's here tonight with her mom and dad and her sister. According to her principal, Gina Rodewald, her favorite school subject is writing. Our favorite food is cheese pizza. Her extracurriculars are acting lessons, basketball, traveling team for Taekwondo, Gower West Band. She also says she likes the playground over there. Trips taken with her family is the Cayman Islands, Amelia Island in Florida, every year for spring break. She is, of course, with her tonight here with her sister named Emery, who will be coming to Gower West next year. And her parents' names are Ann and Lynn Boatwright. So I'd like to ask Peyton to come to the front and lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Ready?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Peyton. Great job.
Thank you.
Karen, may I have roll call, please?
Trustee Francis.
Here.
Trustee Model. Trustee Pavesa.
Here.
Trustee Martell.
Here.
Trustee Snyder.
Here.
Trustee Schiappa.
Here.
Mayor Straub.
Here. Now, under residents' comments, are there any residents who would like to address the board at this time? Seeing no one, they're under the consent agenda. We'll go through the omnibus vote. All items listed with an asterisk are considered to be routine by the village board and will be enacted by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless a board member or citizen so requests, which event the item will be removed. Under minutes, we have 5A, approval of a regular board meeting of January 22nd, 2018. B, receive and file draft stormwater committee meeting of February 13th, 2018. C, receive and file draft plan commission meeting of February 19th, 2018. Under ordinances, we have approval of an ordinance granting conditional sign approval as per the Village of Burr Ridge sign ordinance for approval of a ground and wall sign in a transitional district, SO2 2018, located at 7600 County Line Road for Shirley Ryan Ability Lab. Under resolutions, we have 7B, adoption of resolution approving of amendment to resolution R 2017 regarding payment in lieu of right-of-way improvements for the Balach subdivision, 7500 Drew Avenue. Adoption C, adoption of resolution executing a successor intergovernmental police service assistance agreement, the IPSA. Under D, adoption of a resolution authorizing the withdrawal of the Village of Burr Ridge from the Intergovernmental Personnel Benefit Cooperative and the South Central DuPage County Benefits Pool. Considerations, we have 8A, approval of ordinances to ratify emergency purchase of road salt. B, approval of private sanitary sewage system for a new home at PC 04 2018 7656 Wolf Road, Vanclevis. C, approval of Mayor Straub's recommendation to reappoint John Navickas to the Board of Fire and Police Commissioners for a term expiring May 1st, 2020. D, approval of Mayor Straub's recommendation to reappoint Ronald Damper to the Board of Fire and Police Commissioners for a term expiring May 1st, 2019. E, approval of Mayor Straub's recommendation to appoint Trustee Joe Snyder to the Water Committee for a term expiring May 1st, 2019. F, approval of Mayor Straub's recommendation to appoint Trustee Guy Francis to the Water Committee for a term expiring May 1st, 2021. Under C, approval of Mayor Straub's recommendation to appoint Marianne Beggy, Adolph Galinsky, Vivek Guy, Alan Harubi, Claire Kovar, Betsy Levy, Cindy Model, Paraji Patel, Becky Singh, Trustee Anita Matal, and Trustee Zach Model to the Ad Hoc Local School Excellence Committee for terms expiring on May 1st, 2020. H, approval request for raffle license for Our Lady of Peace Church and hosting facility license for Chicago Southwest Burr Ridge Burr Ridge for its fundraising event on April 6th, 2018. I, approval of requests for raffle license for Gower School PTO and hosting facility license for Gower Middle School for its fundraising event on March 9th, 2018. J, approval of recommendation to hold a public hearing regarding amendments to the zoning ordinance. K, approval of vendor list in the amount of $219,890.46 for all funds, plus $215,685.83 for payroll, for a grand total of $435,576. $435,576.29, which includes a special expenditure of $49,406.40 to Winkler's Tree Service for tree trimming and pruning in Area 7. May I have a motion to approve the following items on the consent agenda? That's 6A, B, and C. I'm sorry, 5A, B, and C, 6A, 7B and C, B, C, and D. Under considerations, 8A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, and K.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Trustee Skiappa.
Yes.
Trustee Snyder.
Yes.
Trustee Matal.
Yes.
Trustee Babeza.
Yes.
Trustee Model.
Yes.
Trustee Francis.
Yes.
6-0.
Motion passes 6-0. Under resolutions, we have 7A, consideration of a resolution approving an intergovernmental agreement with the Village of Willow Springs. Pollock?
Yes, I'd like to describe this intergovernmental agreement. There's an area of the village near Bugie Lane and German Church Road on the Cook County side of the village. As you can see from the map on the left on the screen, try to enlarge that a little bit. Bugie Lane, which is the reverse L-shaped street that goes south of German Church Road, is currently in the village of Willow Springs. There's Burr Ridge properties on the south and the east side of Bugie Lane, yet they are dependent upon Willow Springs for maintenance of the street, snow plowing, resurfacing, patching, etc. We reached out to Willow Springs to discuss the status of that street and the lands adjacent to the street. As shown on the map again, the west side of Bugie Lane, the north side of Bugie Lane is in the village of Willow Springs. In talking with the property owners as well as the village of Willow Springs, we discussed transferring properties from Willow Springs to Burr Ridge and vice versa. Essentially making all of Bugie Lane in the village of Burr Ridge with homes to be built on the properties that would be in Burr Ridge and on Bugie Lane, and homes to be built on Pleasant View Lane that would be in Willow Springs. So you take half of the property between Bugie Lane and Pleasant View and transfer it from Burr Ridge to Willow Springs, and you take the west side of Bugie Lane and transfer it from Willow Springs to Burr Ridge. And the village of Willow Springs has approved of this transfer of land. The property owners are tentatively approved this, subject to zoning. And so the next step in the process is to ask the village board in Burr Ridge if you're in agreement with this change. And if so, you could approve this resolution, which would establish an intergovernmental agreement between the two villages and the two property owners, subject to zoning. We're not circumventing any zoning here. Both properties still have to go through the zoning process, public hearings before both villages, and then and only then would the annexation transfer occur. If both villages were to approve the zoning that the property owners are asking for, then the transfer would occur. If Burr Ridge or Willow Springs does not approve the zoning that's contemplated by the agreement, then the agreement would become null and void and we'd go back to the status quo. I'd be happy to answer any questions about this. I can say that We've worked closely over a number of years with both property owners. Mayor Straub has talked with the mayor of Willow Springs, and I've talked with the administrator, as well as the two property owners impacted. Again, I'd be happy to answer any questions.
I'd like to add something first, and that's we talk about transferring it. It's really a process of de-annexing and annexing. This property this currently sits up. That the challenge of this property is you have the Bugie Lane. If you were to sell, if someone were to try to buy a property on Bugie Lane in Burr Ridge, they would have houses in Willow Springs to the east and the west, front and back of their homes. And then they'd be on a street that was actually owned and maintained by Willow Springs. The goal, the previous mayor and the current mayor, we talked about was trying to create a win-win situation where both villages can have two completed streets. Because right now it would be one and a half streets. Because to the east side, there's a road called Pleasant View. It's a small road with smaller homes on it in Willow Springs, and they would, with this de-annexing and annexing, would enable them to look out in front of homes instead of someone's backyard or just weeds. And same thing with on Bugie Lane. The idea was, and this has been a long, drawn-out process with different property owners and things, trying to create an ideal win-win situation, which is really the purpose behind it, so that Burr Ridge would be able to get a completed street of homes, and so would Burr Ridge, and create a win-win situation. So that's a little bit more background, but again, Village Administrator Pollack will be glad to answer any more detailed questions than that. Trustee Francis?
Yeah, so when this came before the board a few years ago, during the annexation process, there was quite a contentious group from Willow Springs who were concerned about stormwater detention. And so how will this agreement affect the stormwater detention? Where will it be, on which properties, and who will manage it?
The preliminary engineering for this area, final engineering has not been done, but there's been lots of preliminary engineering done. And the low spot is at the south end of what's called the Malik property on Bugie Lane, between Bugie Lane and Pleasant View. And we contemplate seeing a shared detention pond between the homeowners that would become Willow Springs and the homeowners that would be in Burr Ridge, with easements allowing both villages the right to access in an emergency situation, and easements that obligated both homeowners equally, or all homeowners equally, on the Burr Ridge side and the Willow Springs side to maintain that stormwater pond. We contemplate it would be sized to meet or exceed all stormwater requirements of both villages and MWRD.
The other thing about those, it's by the way, great memory for that, because remember that was a pretty rough meeting when a lot of Willow Springs residents came out in force. This actually puts Willow Springs more in control of their own destiny when it comes to water retention.
I would agree. My concern is that this, do we have another agreement like this anywhere else in the village where we share stormwater management in a fixed pond with another municipality? I don't know of any.
I don't know of any either.
Okay, but I'm not saying I'm sure it'll work out fine. I'm sure the residents in both villages will do what's best, and I think it's an elegant solution. Thank you.
I believe one of the petitioners wants to approach it. Would that be okay to talk now? Or?
Yeah.
Yes. If you would like to address the board, you have to come to the microphone, introduce yourself, or the gentleman behind you was.
I just had a clarification. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Larry Zadarsky. I'm the attorney and trustee for the trust that owns the Rosika property, which is this 2-acre parcel here that would be, if this agreement goes through, would become part of Burr Ridge. Just a point of clarification. Our property, pursuant to the agreement, you would be, if you look at the intergovernmental cooperation agreement, and if everything works out all right, you will be taking us as is. We have a 2-acre parcel of land which has been subdivided pursuant to agreement with Willow Springs to 4 half-acre lots. which has already been granted zoning approval and has already received MWRD approval for on-site retention of our water. If it works out better for us to group with the other properties and use that other retention and a joint petition is given to MWRD to do it that way, that's great. But as it stands, you will be getting a 2-acre parcel of land that already has Cook County MWRD approval for on-site water management, our 2 acres. And you would be accepting us pursuant to the agreement, assuming you want us. We're not particularly enamored with the concept, since it's been a 10-year process of redoing the zoning process. When we originally talked with everybody here, we have 4 half-acre parcels on our 2-acre land, and we've already received whatever variances might be required for side yard, rear yard, and MWRD approval. So that would help to resolve, I think, some of the other issues are the 5 acres that go on the other side that have not gone through that process. But we're ready actually to build, and by the time this is done, we have contracts on one of our parcels, and by the time we become part of Burr Ridge, one of our parcels might already be in the process of building.
Thank you.
So I just wanted to let you know that just a little bit of a nuance as to, we've already completed the MWRD approval on those 2 acres. But if it all works out best that we go as part of the other retention pond, we're game to work with everybody and make sure that happens. And we still have to probably resolve with your engineering where sewers go. And water is already coming in through, at least our parcel, through the Justice Willow Springs Water Commission. But those are issues that we can work out with your engineering department as we move forward.
Thank you.
Thank you. If you have any other questions, be happy to answer.
Thank you for the update.
Any other questions of Doug? Discussion? Okay.
I know over the years, that section of property has had a lot of discussion between the 2 villages, and if we can make this work out where everybody is satisfied, the both villages, the residents, that'd be a win-win for everybody.
Anybody else? No one at the board? Okay, it looks like a resident would like to speak.
Mark Thomas, 7515 Drew. Just have one question. Is this a single lot that's being split between half of it's going to be in Burr Ridge and half's going to be?
It's a one, I guess, yes, it's one single lot, yes, it's like 5.5 acres, and it's probably about 1/3 of it would probably go toward, approximately go toward Willow Springs. Depending on, the engineering hasn't been done, this is all still very preliminary, but about 1/3 facing Pleasant View would go toward Willow Springs, and then of course, then the Rizika property, then would come into Burr Ridge.
Okay, thank you.
Any other discussion? A motion to approve?
So moved. Second.
Roll call, please.
Trustee Model?
Yes.
Trustee Snyder?
Yes.
Trustee Scalpa?
Yes.
Trustee Martell?
Yes.
Trustee Baveza?
Yes.
Trustee Francis?
Yes.
6-0.
Motion passes 6-0, and now we'll get back to Planning Commission and a lot of other things that need to get happen. We're making have that work, but it's one huge step in the right direction. So, thank you. Under other considerations, deliberation and or discussion. Additional residents comments. Anyone like to mention anything?
Alice Crankle, 7515 Drew. Just a comment, our neighbors brought it to our attention that the petitioner for your 7A tonight and as well as McNaughton have made contribution to your campaign. And I was wondering why it was not disclosed. I just hope that it did not influence any of the board's decisions in this land swap or the previous McNaughton development. I could be wrong, but somebody brought that to my attention. Thank you.
Not sure which. Yeah, if that had ever been a question, I would have, of course, I wasn't involved in the votes anyway, but it is true, McNaughton did make a small donation to my campaign, so. That was a while back, but in any case, the reports and communications from village officials. See no one? Any non-residents? Okay, we need to go into closed session currently for A, approval of closed session minutes of February 12th, 2018, and B, discussion regarding pending or probable litigation. May I have a motion to close the open session?
So moved.
Okay. Second. All's in favor? Aye. Now we now go into closed session, and then for those of you who are interested, after closed session, comes back into open session, and then we'll be closed again.